Hello everyone, I'm the EFC and this is Blue Lines TV, and today's video is brought to you by OneFootball. But why should you guys download it? The OneFootball app is a great companion app to have whenever you're watching games or whenever you're out and about and you just want to get your football fix. Whenever I watch games, for example, the OneFootball app is the perfect app for me to be able to get the stats for each player and any player I want. It's an easy way for me to find the updated news of the day in regards to the club I support. I can get news from other clubs in the league and throughout Europe. You guys, in the description below, make sure you click on the link and download OneFootball. Your football fix is a swipe away. Welcome to the match preview of our upcoming game tomorrow at 3 PM against Bournemouth. And you guys, you know how the structure goes. I'm going to be talking about Sarri and comments he made during his press conference first. Then I'm going to give you my predicted lineup for the game. And then for the third part, I'm going to give the tactical debriefing of the game. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of Bournemouth. And I'm going to be talking about what I feel we can do to play against Bournemouth. But starting with the press conference first. And Sarri actually spoke about quite a lot of interesting things. The first thing he was really talking about was Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And he had a lot of positive things to say about Ruben. One thing he was talking about in regards to Ruben was the fact that the guy is technically strong and he's very physical on top of that as well. But with Ruben, the issue with him is the fact that it's taken him a while to get used to the tactical demands Sarri wants him to have. And that is understandable. I mean, you know, he hasn't really had much of a pre-season. He hasn't worked under Sarri that much as well. He was at Crystal Palace too last year. So again, it's going to be a bit of a learning curve for this guy to really get used to things. But it's nice that Sarri is actually complimenting him. And he stated that he is improving under him. And he expects him to play much more during the next coming months. And I think that when we saw Ruben on the bench in the last game, he was clearly doing the right things to actually be with the squads. Moving on to another point that Sarri was talking about, and he was talking about Marcos Alonso. Now, you guys, it's not going to come as a surprise to most of us, let's be serious. But there are still people that think that if you criticize players, it means you don't support the club and you hate them, and these two just don't go together. It makes no sense in my opinion. But Sarri said that yes, Alonso is good going forward. He has been very physical and he has played well in these past 3 games, but he made the point that he wants Alonso to be better defensively. And it's not really a surprise, let's be serious. You know, one thing I've always said about Marcos Alonso is the fact that I don't think when it comes to one-on-one situations, he's as strong enough or he's as good enough. I don't think he wins the ball back quickly enough. And too often wingers do get past him. So it is kind of understandable why Sarri would say that. And I think that is quite interesting that he did make that point. He spoke about Cesc Fabregas and the fact that he still is recovering and he is doing his water therapy session to try and get back because he does have a niggling problem. And he also spoke about Eddie Howe, and he was actually in praise of Eddie Howe. Now, you guys, if you didn't realise, Eddie Howe actually knows Sarri already. 4 years ago, Eddie Howe was seeing what Sarri was doing with Empoli back in the day. He was very impressed and he asked him if he could actually just come and visit and actually speak to him. And he said that he was there for a few days. Sarri was very accommodating and he learned a lot of new things from him. And again, he's very grateful for how Sarri treated him. And it's nice to see. I mean, it's how the industry does work. Managers are always talking to each other, swapping ideas. I'm sure it doesn't happen that much in the Premier League because, you know, they are rivalries and there is competition to achieve and get some success in the season. But it's nice to see that Sarri looks after him. You guys, moving on to the predicted lineup part of this video. And again, I'm not expecting much change at all. In my opinion, I think it's going to be the exact same lineup which we did see against Newcastle. I mean, it does make a lot of sense. As I said beforehand, you know, it's good for the first team to play more and more games together because the more they play together, the more the team is going to understand what Sarri does expect from them. And let's not forget too, there is an international break coming after the Bournemouth game. So again, it makes sense for these guys to play together. And I think that's a good thing because number one, a lot of these players will be much fitter. And I think another good thing is the fact that them playing together and understanding each other's game is only going to really speed up the process. Still, it's going to be the same back line, which does make sense. And even though we haven't kept a clean sheet just yet, I am seeing improvements with that back four. I'm looking at their positioning. These guys are staying in line with each other much more frequently. I'm looking at them playing the offside trap as well. They're doing very well to do that as well. And I just think that the main weakness is down the wide areas. And this is why I keep stressing it is a collective, because our wingers have to track back and help support our fullbacks. Otherwise, teams will create 2v1s against them. And this is why there's a bit of confusion when it does come down to that. But again, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of being patient, so I'm not really too concerned. And of course, expect Hazard and Kovacic to play, obviously. I think that their relationship is only going to get stronger and better as the season does go on. And I'm expecting these two to have some fun against Bournemouth tomorrow. You guys, for the final part of this video, I'm going to be talking through the tactics for this game, starting with Bournemouth, and what do I expect them to do against us tomorrow. Now with Bournemouth, the form they're on currently is pretty good, you know, 7 points out of 9. They have been looking pretty good in this 4-4-2 system that Eddie Howe is using. But you guys, I'm having a bit of a dilemma in terms of what tactics Eddie Howe is going to use against us. Because last season, when it came to Bournemouth playing against the bigger teams, he did like to use a back 5 system. Now that would either be a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2. Now, I'm thinking there's a lot of logic in terms of why Eddie Howe could possibly use a back 5 system against us. Number one, he does understand Sarri a lot. He understands how Sarri likes his teams to play. He would have got confidence seeing what Newcastle were doing against us. And the confidence he would have got was the fact that, well, we do have a counter-attacking threat. And we could actually do something in those wide areas and really try and unsettle Chelsea on the counter-attack. So there's a possibility there. But at the same time as well, with this 4-4-2, you know, Bournemouth have looked very confident and very good in this system. Would it be a wise thing for him to change things and get them playing as the underdogs because you are scared of that Chelsea threat? I'm not too sure, but Eddie Howe risked that. Or is he confident that, yes, us playing this 4-4-2 system, us using the 4-4-2 system is the perfect system to use because I don't want to jeopardize the confidence in the squads. But in my opinion, something does tell me that we are going to see Bournemouth use a back 5 system against us. I'm not too sure if that's going to be a 5-3-2 or if that's going to be a 3-4-3, but if I was to guess, I'm assuming it's going to be a 5-3-2 because number one, with how we're playing, with how we create spaces between the lines and the half space, we're very dangerous, especially with a new Eden Hazard that has even more freedom as well. And most importantly, he does have the support around him in the final third, so that's going to make a massive difference. Now, if I'm Bournemouth, I'm thinking that we have to play more conservatively and we do have to play on the counter-attack. We have to protect that area. We have to keep our shape very compact in the middle. And we have to make sure that we do outnumber Chelsea between the lines and in those half spaces and really try and force them to play the ball out wide and to not play through us or to play centrally. As I said before too, Eddie Howe does know Sarri, but at the same time he could use this as a test to really show Sarri just how far he's developed as a manager and continue to use that 4-4-2. But I don't know, I think that Eddie Howe will be thinking of the long game. I think that Eddie Howe has already prepared for this game in advance, so I'm expecting him to use a back 5 system. Now, how do I see us playing against Bournemouth? Now, one thing I think we're going to have against Bournemouth, which we didn't have against Newcastle, is more space, especially the space between the lines, and more counter-attacking opportunities as well. I mean, with Bournemouth, they do like to have a threat on the counter-attack, and that's one thing that you have to respect with what Eddie Howe does do with Bournemouth, because he doesn't like them to be the underdog necessarily. He likes them to try and get something from games, and I think it's a positive mentality to have. I think one threat with Bournemouth you have to be careful of is Callum Wilson. You know, the guy is on form, but he's someone that does have the pace. He loves to get in behind as well, and he likes to stretch the opposition as well. And if you've got this guy running in between the spaces left and behind by Alonso or Azpilicueta, that could cause some issues and it could give Bournemouth a platform on the counter-attack. But I think one thing for sure is we are going to dominate midfields. I don't think that Bournemouth will just sit back like Newcastle did. I think they're going to try and press us high in their own half. They'll try and put a man on Jorginho to really try and stop us from playing out and making it much more difficult for us as well. And I think they're going to put a man on Rudiger and a man on David Luiz as well. But I think one thing that's definitely going to help us is, you know, the way we attack down the flanks is even more dangerous this season, especially now that you've got guys like Kovacic that can break the lines and help support Eden Hazard, and Kante is allowed to break forward as well, and I think that creates a lot of overloads defensively, and that's definitely going to give Bournemouth a lot to worry about. But I'm just feeling confident that because Bournemouth won't just be sitting back and taking it, I think that we are going to get a pretty comfortable win against Bournemouth. My score prediction for this game is 3-0. I expect to see Eden Hazard scoring. I think Maras is going to get another goal as well. And for the third goal, I don't really care who gets it, to be honest. But you guys, that's the match preview over. Give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And you guys, don't forget, if you want to help support me and support the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you go to the description below, click on that link and download OneFootball. You guys, I like to be very transparent, and each download from you guys is tracked. So the more downloads I get, the better it's going to be for me and OneFootball, and hopefully I could get another campaign for next month. But you guys, that's me gone. Thank you for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lines TV, signing out.